actually, that was the thing that I was most interested in, you know? So, and so after the training, I mean, the physical training was...
I am Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for movies in Sweden.
Hi.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hi, hi. So I've seen the entire season, actually.
Oh my gosh, you've seen the whole season? I don't think anyone's seen the whole
How is
season.
it possible?
Yeah, well, I think I've seen it all. I have screeners.
You've seen 6 episodes?
Oh, fantastic. So you're
Yeah,
the
6
first person
episodes.
we've spoken to who's actually seen it, the whole thing. That's so great. Exciting.
Yeah, and I really like it. So that's good. I like the futuristic feel of this one compared to the other two that I was in parts of. I wanted to start out by asking kind of when you decided where you wanted it to take place time-wise, because all these shows are in different time periods and jumping back and forth and stuff like that. So what was the decision you made when you kind of started working on this?
You know, when we became part of this world, it was very, very important that each show had its own identity and sort of explored something that wasn't as explored in the mother show, right? So our first instinct was, well, let's take a deep dive into the world of Manticore. Let's flip the tables. And the show isn't necessarily about Citadel, but really understand what Manticore is about. So that was our jumping off point. But it would be more interesting to sort of explore Manticore with a Citadel that hasn't existed for a period of time, you know, and really think about what the world is like when there isn't two rival agencies that are kind of keeping a world equilibrium. And so setting our show in a near future, but not too far in the future, meaning we wanted it to feel that a world without Citadel, a world dominated by Manticore for 8 years, what would it be like? And for audiences today to sort of identify that this maybe is something that could happen in the next 5 to 10 years. So that was really our starting off point in terms of deciding to set in 2030.
Yeah, and I like the bold move doing that. So I'm hoping we will get some of the technical advances that we see in the show.
All of the tech that we have in the show, you know, our incredible production designer Giuliano Panuti, our visual effects supervisor Giancarlo Derchie, what they did was that they would talk to companies and their research and development companies, and everything that we did, there is a basis for what there is now and not on the market and how they're projecting it in the next 5 to 10 years. So we were very, very careful not to put any tech in the show that didn't have a basis today in a research and development department.
Wow, didn't know this.
I know, you learn something new every day.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So let's take it to you, Matilda. First of all, I really loved you in that miniseries, The Undoing.
Thank you.
So that was really good. But I also like you in this, of course. And going off of what Gina just told us about, like the technologies, a lot of that, I'm guessing, was made after the fact. So you had to kind of pretend.
Most of the time, I was looking like at a
the
green screen, doing stuff with my hands and stuff with my. It was
So it makes it even harder to act, but I don't think that you can tell by watching it, so that's good. But how was that actually for you to do on set, and also all of the action that we get to see? There must have been a lot of training to be able to pull that off.
It took 4 months of training, so a whole summer of hard training with the most amazing stunts we have in Italy. Led by Emiliano Novelli, which nowadays he's my master and forever my coach. And I wanted to I wanted to do most of the 90% of my stunts and my actions. So I tried to push myself, over the limits, and actually that was the thing that I was most interested in, So so after the training, I mean the physical training was for me the main part of the preparation that I did for my character, because from the physicality of Diana, I could, learn something about her, emotions and
trauma.
And trauma, yeah.
Yeah, and also that there are. I like the jumping back and forth, and we also get to see her kind of before she became the Terminator, and having to learn all of that stuff. Was that shot in sequence, or did you have to jump back and forth a lot? And one day knowing it all, and the next day I can't do anything?
There was a lot of jumping,
Even in the same day.
There were a couple
of times we tried never to have you have to shoot both. But there were a couple of times where we absolutely, like for example, when you are at the Duomo, because we only had had the piazza with the Duomo.
For a day, maybe for
exactly.
a couple of hours. So we had to.
She had to do both herself as a very young woman, not a spy, and then again as Diana.
As the Citadel Manticore agent.
And having that epic haircut as well. I think that is good. We're going to see people wearing that now.
You think so? Yeah, I do too.
It's cool.
I think so.
It is cool. Yeah. Maybe for you, Gina, is it something that you guys get to talk with the Russo Brothers about? Well, we can't do this because they're doing that in that other show, or how much of free reign do you have for each production?
Again, I'm not sure if there will be other countries involved beyond us three at this point. Obviously, what they've created lends itself to future exploration in other places.
Yeah.
But in terms of something that I thought was really fantastic working on this show is that we created a sort of universal writers' room where all the writers and showrunners would connect on a biweekly basis to sort of exchange ideas, tell everybody what they were up to. Obviously, we were all in different phases of development, production, post-production, but it was such an amazing experience to collaborate, with Agbo and the Russos, and with Raj and DK and Sita in India, and then myself and Alessandro Fabri, who's the head writer and developed the show, to have this. It's certainly not constant because we're all very busy. So it was, a couple hours every 2 weeks, but this constant flow of information where we could explore each other's stories, exchange ideas, and often, things just got better by this constant exchange and cultural exchange. And, you've seen also Citadel Honey Bunny, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the three shows are so different. But it was really fun.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for taking your time to speak with me today.
Thank you,
and
Jonathan.
Good luck with the premiere now.
Thank you.